Starke Markenkracher zum Wochenstart? Ab zu Lidl. Zum Beispiel Iglo Fischstäbchen, die 450 Gramm Packung. 42% günstiger, nur 1,99 €. Oder Zott Sahnejoghurt, der 150 Gramm Becher. 52% günstiger, nur 33 Cent. Lidl lohnt sich.
Here we are again. Hey, good to be back. Good to have you back with me. I hope you're having a relaxed day, you're having a happy day, a day full of bright light outside and maybe some snow if it's January where you are right now. I don't know how you deal with these times, but I'm kind of in the middle of the inner fine-tuning of my beings. I feel like I'm constantly in that, and this month has proven to be full of conflicts, mostly me with myself. Although I actually would say I found so much peace in the last 2 years within me and with my whole being and all my the things that I dislike, all my flaws, all my mistakes, all the moments where I don't like myself, all the moments where I treat myself in a bad way. But yeah, things come around whenever you think you finished something or you mastered one part of your life. I think someone up there just chuckles to himself saying, yeah, you think you know. Or you think you have finished? Yeah, okay. And here comes the next process just for you to get to know yourself better, or to find yourself again and find new aspects of yourself and just develop. And this is also what I do love about life, that it's a constant process, a constant becoming, a constant possibility to find more love, find more faith, find more of myself inside myself and in me going into the outer world. But what I want to talk to you about today is one of my favorite topics, because I think this is one of the ideas or the theories without which we can never really become something new. We can never really start developing our personalities, our characters, or our relationships if we don't have any ideas or any role models or any pictures of how we want to have it. You probably find yourself, just like I do, often in a situation where you say, oh, I know this. I've been here. Why does this always happen to me? Or that is typically me. I call that a shovel full of mud on the C pile. The C pile is I knew this was gonna happen. I knew this is typically me. I knew I'm the unluckiest person in this world. Everybody's successful, just not me. I knew it, that this was gonna fail. That is my so-called C pile. And whenever we are convinced of something being or working in a certain way, we will always prove to ourselves that this is true. So you have a certain view on your reality about how the world works for you. You also have certain views about why the world works for you or doesn't work for you the way it does or doesn't. and you will prove yourself again and again and again that this is true. So, if you're convinced that you're just not lucky, then you will experience again and again that you're just not lucky, because your mind needs to be sure that the concepts it has are true, are reality. So this means that your focus is set in a way that everything that does not align with this concept is just not seen by you, not heard by you, not realized by you. So from the about, I don't know, I think it's about 2 billions of stimuli around you in every second that you exist. So by that I mean you can't hear the worms in the earth, but they're there and they're making noises, just that our ears are not able to hear them. So of these 2 billion, you just perceive about 20. That's nothing. So your brain is able to filter out 20 small stimuli that are around you. And how do we filter it, or how does our brain decide which ones you're going to perceive? By the thoughts you have. So from the 60,000 thoughts that you have every day, your brain constantly filters, okay, so this is important for us, this is important for her, so this is what she wants to notice when it happens. And thus you will always only see or hear or sense what you are convinced of is there, is true, is your reality. I'm going to give you an example because I think this is quite, if this is new to you, that might be a bit hard to understand. So, have you ever experienced anything alike? I want to buy a new car, and my new car is going to be red, and it's going to be from a company that is not seen everywhere. So it's not going to be VW. In Germany you have VW everywhere. Of course you do, because because it's VW. Anyways, I want to have a Suzuki car, and it's going to be red, and it's going to be new, and I'm really looking forward to it. And it took me a lot of time to decide which one I want, and I checked out prices and stuff like that. So from this moment on, I'm gonna be seeing red cars all around that have not been there before, and I'm like, okay, I thought this was gonna be a rare color, so why are there red cars everywhere? And I'm gonna see Suzuki cars all around. Have they not been there before? Yes, they have, but they haven't been important to me. I haven't been thinking about them, so my brain would not show them to me because they're not relevant. Okay, same goes with if you're a woman, you want to be pregnant and you want to have kids, and suddenly you see pregnant women or women with kids everywhere. Is that new? No, it's not, but it wasn't relevant before. So your brain constantly, every second, filters out the relevant information around you to be shown to you. And it filters by your thoughts. So that's why we always say it's so important which thoughts you have, because you're going to have more of what you think. Because you're going to be realizing or finding or seeing more of what you think. So this is the science behind it. And this is also what I mean when I'm saying that the C pile is going to become bigger and bigger and bigger if you don't know what's behind it. It's your concepts, is your reality. It's your focus is set on only the things that you are convinced that are real. So you're going to be proven that what you think of the world is right again and again, because everything that does not fit into this concept is deleted, is going to be in the 2 billion stimuli around you that you don't get, that are not shown to you, okay, because they're not relevant. So this means you can choose what your reality is. by the thoughts you're having. That's why we have our attention on positive thinking so much, because you're going to get more of what you're thinking. Okay, we're going to be back in this topic repeatedly, because I think it's so important, and it has so many aspects that can be looked at, can be checked out, can be brought into your life, because it's one of the keys to a happier life. Your life doesn't suddenly become happier just because something in your outside happens. It happens on your inside. And this is what this podcast is about, to find happiness, find your true inner fulfillment, and just to shine this into the world is going to make you a much happier person. And I want to give you a few ideas, a few tools, and a few, well, let's say exercises, because I think exercising your mind is just as important as exercising your body. Anyways, coming back to what you want to become and how you get there, or why you haven't become the person you actually would like yourself to be. If we don't have a picture of what we want, and always only know or realize or talk about or think about what we don't want, like every crisis, every problem, every catastrophe, every stress, every fear, every anxiety that's inside you, if you focus on that, you're going to have more of it. And your C pile is going to get bigger every day. This is a logical thing to happen. We always focus on problem. If we've got nothing to do, then we are negative without a reason. It's really rare that people are positive without a reason, that people are happy without a reason. If nothing is going on, we're more probably gonna be negative and trying to solve problems, because that's what our brain has come for. Our mind has been built to help us surviving. And what do we need in order to survive? We need to solve the problems that arise and the problems that could arise. So if your mind is busy always checking out the problems you have, it can't be busy noticing how happy, how lucky, how well you actually are in this moment. And as with everything that we think, the biochemistry is started from our brains. If we think about possible stressful situations, then our mind cannot decide or see or notice that we are not in this situation right now. It's gonna give us exactly the biochemistry that the body will have in the stressful moment. Just that this moment is not present right now. It's not happening. But for your body, it is happening. That's why we can get stressed so much by our thoughts. So, what do we need? We need to focus on what we have and not to focus on what we don't have. When you start using your mind in order to solve the problems, how to get to the future you actually want to have, to the relationship you actually want to have, to the peace in your family you want to have, then this is a good thing to think about. So if you start using questions like, why is it so easy for me to feel the peace in my family, when actually your reality right now is the exact opposite, then your focus will start showing you moments where this is happening, because they're there, but in your reality is we are not a peaceful family. So we have to prove that this reality is true by showing conflict, showing problems, showing unhappy family members. So start asking yourself these questions. Start asking, why is it so easy for me to feel that I'm loved by my family? And whatever you have, whatever problems arise, you can immediately stop your mind from thinking about this problem and going to the question, what do I want instead? We call this away from thinking versus towards thinking. So the away from thinking is what everybody does. Everybody is constantly occupied with their problems and their stress. So they will have more of it. And when we start the towards thinking, the what do I want instead thinking, then we can create new pictures. Start daydreaming again. Start to think about how am I going to feel when I will be in that situation. Your frequency is going to start to change immediately. Your biochemistry is going to change immediately from stress to heal. Your cells can relax and heal. If you're chronically ill, then you are having a lot of stress in your mind. So, you need new images because usually sick people cannot, or chronically sick people cannot, refer to the feeling. I call it the reference feeling or the reference frequency of how they feel or how their life is when they're healthy, which creates the problem that they're not able to become healthy because they can't go to the frequency of being healthy first. It's your mind that starts and your body that follows. So we need your mind to create the moments where you think you're going to be happy, the moments that you want. So get yourself some good pictures. Get yourself some happy things to think about, some happy problems. Whenever you think, I can't do that, or everybody can, but I can't do it. Whenever you catch yourself thinking that, go from I can't do this to how is this going to be possible for me? What needs to happen for me to make this possible? And believe me, if there's one thing that I learned through my past or through the past years, everything is possible. There is no dream that is too big to achieve. Also for you. I can hear your thoughts go like, yeah, you can say that. I don't believe you. I hope you're going to follow me through this podcast because I'm going to give you a few or many, many examples of people who experience life exactly like this and who are definitely going to inspire you to dream big, because that's what I want to inspire people to do. Dream big. So I want to give you a story about mental training because it's so powerful, and I think stories are such a good medicine for us to be inspired and to say, okay, yeah, this is how it might actually work for me too, and I might try it. So I don't know if you ever heard the story of Roger Bannister. He was a British, I think he must have been British, a medium distance runner in the 1950s, and during that time, nobody had ever run 1 mile under 4 minutes. So what he did was, this was clearly his goal, to break the world record, to make the mile under 4 minutes. So what did he do? He started to do something which we today call the Roger Bannister effect. He started the mental training. He kept on visualizing how he would run this mile, how he would breathe, how his legs would feel, how his body would feel, how the moment felt that he was crossing or he was finishing the line under 4 minutes. He imagined it again and again and again and again. He would spread the feeling of this success through his body. And this is something actually that people who are doing sports, this is normal today. It's being used everywhere, but it was new then. So nobody would ever be able to do it. And he was the first one. He made it. He did it. So that's quite interesting. But what's more interesting to me is that by having the picture of this is possible, somebody made it, in the following year, 7 or 8 other runners managed it too. they finished 1 mile under 4 minutes because in their brains it was possible. This thing became from impossible to possible because one person proved it is possible. So the concepts of our brain, what's possible and what's not possible, are so distinct to what we think we are able to do. So I want you to see that you are setting up your borders. You are setting up the possibilities and impossibilities for your own life. So where do you think that something is not possible for you? Where do you put mud on the sea pile? I love saying that. Where do you prove yourself that you're right and right and right again, where it's just you? Where is something happening in your life that you experience repeatedly that other people are not? This has everything to do with yourself and your mindset. So where do you think, I certainly cannot do this, or this is not for me, or I'm just not able to do it, or I'm too dumb, or I'm too old, or I'm too small, or I'm too, I don't know, undereducated, whatever you think. Let me tell you, this is not true. The only thing you don't have is a picture of yourself being able to do it. So why don't we start with this? So what is your picture? What would you really love to have, love to do, love to be? If everything's possible, who are you in this world? I want you to create these pictures, and I want you to dream big, to dare to dream so big, because everything is possible for you too. So, my podcasts are always going to be about 20 minutes. And it's time for you to let all those information sink in. I would be so happy if you subscribed to this on iTunes, on wherever you find it. I would be so happy too if you send me your thoughts, whatever you learned from this episode, whatever you think, whatever your questions are, just share them with me, please, because I'm so happy. It's the biggest reward for me is when you take my content and you make something out of it. Like, you dream a new life, and we say in a shaman way, we say you dream your dream into reality, and that's what I'm teaching you to do in this podcast that just started with episode 2. You can find me on Instagram, Svenja Strohmeier, just like the name says in the title, and I'm so very happy to share my life with you and my learnings with you, and my whenever I'm a little darky sometimes, and I tend to stumble into situations that make me grow so much. And I'm very happy to share this with you if you like. So I'm going to say have the best week ever, because you decide if it's going to be your best week ever. And I will hear you soon. So you take care and all the best for you. Bye bye.
Na, was machst du da auf Chibo.de?
Ich mach grad Jonas Zimmer zum Gaming Room, unser Homeoffice zum Homie Office und unseren Garten zur Spielwiese, unseren Kleiderschrank zum Showroom. Ach ja, und die Anita total neidisch.
Und wie lang dauert das noch?
Fertig. Bringt Leben in euer Leben. Mit tausenden aufregenden Produkten für unendlich viel Spaß. Mit dem Code PODCAST15 jetzt 15% sparen. Auf Chibo.de, der Onlineshop in deiner Nähe.